So if we go back to the beginnings of your career, or even back when you were singing in schools, and we can read that your father repaired jukeboxes.
Right.
What inspired you then, in those years, most of all?
Well, I should say I just had this love for music, you know, and I've always, you know, while singing, sometimes when I was young, I would always look in the mirror or go out in the front of my yard and pretend like I was on stage, and then the trees and the grass and the stones, they were the people, they were the audience, you know. And I've always maintained that dream to become an international reggae act. So after leaving high school, I followed that dream. You know, I never stopped. You know, that music is my life. I've never worked before. Music is what I do.
Mm-hmm. You used to be a handcart.
I used to be a handcart boy, but that's in the market. I've never had like a personal job from like an employer. Mm-hmm. I've never received a paycheck. So when I had money from my handcart job, which wasn't a lot, just to feed yourself and buy a pair of shoes and probably buy some water to drink, it was all about music. And when I never had a dollar, it still was all about music. So even if today I was not a recognized artist, or I was not having shows or have a name like the normal artist would, I would still be doing music. That's the way I love music. Regardless of where I would be today, if I was in jail, in a cave, in the water, anywhere, I would be doing music, because it's just a part of me.
Is it true that Anthony B also contributed to you
Yes,
becoming famous?
definitely. Anthony B is the first person that introduced Perfect to Europe. You know, at the time in Jamaica, when I had a couple of singles playing, and I wasn't being offered to tour, because, you know, it was a small name. So, you know, Anthony B in 2005 it was. 2005 or 2004. But he was the first person to bring me to Europe, to introduce me on the international stages, so to speak. And he was like, perfect, okay, this is it. Whenever I get an hour show, I give you 5 minutes. If I get an hour and a half show, I give you 10 minutes. So that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes, make the best of it. Make sure you shine, because this is what is going to determine whether you're going to get back here or whether you're not going to get back. So that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes that Anthony B gave me on stage, I did express myself. I tried my best. I gave it my best shot. Definitely.
When did you choose the name and why?
Perfect. This name was given. It's a self-given name. I gave myself this name, and the reason I gave myself this name is that, you know, being an artist, you have to have a name that enhances your game or your performance. You know, so each time I hear the name Perfect, we all know that nobody's perfect. But each time I hear the name Perfect, it reminds me that, listen, you have to get this job done properly. Each time I'm going on stage and the announcer says, here comes Perfect on the stage, I know that I have to give this show the best shot that I've got. You know what I mean? I have to try for 100. Probably I may not fall at 100, but at least 99.9. So the name that you use as an artist is very important. Born to Killer, he's not a killer, but he speaks about guns in the street, shooting, gangster. 50 Cent, he's not 50 Cent. Snoop Doggy Dogg is not a dog.
What do you think about this violence that they are singing about?
It's totally wrong. How can you sing about violence? It's wrong. Yeah, I'm straightforward. It's wrong. Because it's
Why is it so trendy today?
Because that's where majority of the people minds are. You know what I mean? Majority of the people, they're like living in this fairy tale world. You know, they're not willing to accept reality. But there comes a day when they have to accept reality. And that little song to motivate you or to comfort you in your time of distress. It's the songs that we do.
Yeah, and the Rasta.
The Rasta is the music, is the message of Rastafari that you're going to keep running to. You know, so I don't watch them doing all those derogatory songs. You know, even Bounty Killer has a time when he sits in his house, relaxes, meditates, and listens to his Bob Marley or his Peter Tosh, because that's the root. That's what reggae music is all about. A message of music, peace, equal rights, justice, and love. And nothing can ever fucking change that. Nothing can ever change that.
So what about the future for you?
The future for me, I should say, depends upon me. What I do,
can we expect?
the way I do it. Well, I can promise you that as long as I'm around, as long as I'm living, as long as there is Gideon, you're going to be getting some beautiful songs, beautiful albums, energetic performances on stage, beautiful smiles, you know, a lot of love from me to the people, because I love the fans. The fans are so important that, you know what I mean? Because they're the ones who make us.
And just one extra question, how come your accent is not so Jamaican? You learned the...
Yeah, well, you know, I should say, my mother was a teacher. You know, so I had to speak properly majority of the times. English, yeah? And, you know, I know how to speak Jamaican, patois straight. But after all the traveling and all the interviews and stuff like that, you know, I have to, if I should be speaking straight patois now, you wouldn't be understanding me. And I need to communicate with you, because you're an interviewer, I'm an artist. So the language that is most suitable for us to communicate in would be English, because English is probably a second language for almost every country in the world. You know what I mean? If you don't even speak English, English is like the primary language after your original language that you should learn. You know, so it's very important to communicate with the world.
Tilash Radio, keep playing for the people, here we go. Good reggae music in the morning time, reggae music in the evening time, just to make you feel fine, just to make you free your mind. Tilash Radio, playing for the people, here we go. FM 90.3, got a money, woo! L-R-E.